Greetings everyone, peace to you all. Today we're going to take a look at the question, should Christians play video games? This question is often not taken very seriously or is given an unbalanced or uncritical response. But in this video, I'm going to give you 5 scripturally supported reasons why Christians should play video games. To help us better understand this question, we want to quickly go over some common concerns given by spiritual leaders about video games. While the video is not going to focus on the concerns, I did want to acknowledge them. They are as follows. Concern number 1. Video games are a waste of time and money. Mature Christians often raise concerns that Christians should be using their resources on things that would further God's kingdom instead of their own pleasure or be better stewards of their time. Concern number 2. Video games have negative impacts on our abilities. Things that fall in this category are things like ergonomic problems, too much screen time for young children. Even deeper concerns are whether or not video games impact your concentration or ability to focus. Concern number 3. Video games have negative spiritual influence on us. Things that fall in this category are becoming desensitized to violence, increased aggression, or sexual temptation. Concern number 4. Video games glorify idols or become an idol. Concerns in this category are things like, what if there are occult elements like witchcraft, or what if games lead to serious spiritual warfare? These are all very serious concerns, and many spiritual leaders are right to point them out. However, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Few spiritual leaders discuss the potential benefits of playing video games as a hobby. Let's discuss these now. Reason number 1. Video games are a way for many of us to rest and relax. God is the creator of rest, and God himself rested from creation. So it is clear that rest is a good thing. Many hobbies provide rest, so this is not really a specific benefit that video games provide, but I thought it important to mention the fact that video games are categorized as rest because those who are critical of video games usually point out that there are more important things that we could be putting our energy, time, and money into, such as ministry. While this is true to some extent, video games as rest should not really be compared to ministry, but other rest activities like sports, movies, fishing, hiking, etc. If video games are primarily a form of rest and relaxation, and the issues related to the first concern we mentioned about being a waste of time and money are somewhat less important. In the end, all of us have the freedom to spend our time and money on different ways to rest and relax. Reason number 2. Positive impacts on our skills and abilities. Video games can have positive impacts on multiple skills and abilities. In 1 Timothy, Paul tells us that developing our skills like physical, mental, and social skills have some value. While they may not be as important as spiritual training, developing other aspects of our well-being are also important. There's much research that demonstrates that video games can improve vision, attention, executive function, spatial recognition, and motor skills. Video games are an excellent way to develop many cognitive, physical, and collaboration skills. Video games can also improve our mindset. There's also some research that suggests that there may be some emotional benefits to some video games. If video games can cause negative impacts on our skills and abilities, they can definitely cause positive ones as well. Reason number 3, personal spiritual edification. The third reason why Christians should play video games is that video games can bring spiritual edification. At the end of the day, most video games are stories. No one questions the ability of C.S. Lewis or G.K. Chesterton or J.R.R. Tolkien who use stories to edify believers spiritually. Jesus himself uses stories to edify believers spiritually. Spiritual leaders obviously do not generally condemn all novels and all movies as only negative influences. They have the potential to be negative, but there is also great potential for video games to help Christians think about virtue. Godliness is of value in every way, and video games is one way to train our godliness. Yes, there are many negative influences that video games can have, but video games can also be a positive spiritual influence. Reason number 4, glorifying God. Video games can glorify God. In 1 Corinthians, Paul talks about the use of arts and music to glorify God. God is the creator of all arts, and throughout history, many of the timeless masterpieces glorify God, both the artist in the creation process and the audience in our admiration. Video games, as art, should be created and enjoyed to glorify God. Reason number 5, engaging in culture for the gospel. The last scriptural reason for playing video games is so that we can engage with culture for the sake of the gospel. Video games are, at the moment, the largest market of entertainment today. According to Statista.com, the MPA, and the IFPI, the video games industry is estimated to be approximately $190 billion in 2021, easily double books and triple movies. Like it or not, if Christians want to be able to engage with culture, we need to understand video games as a hobby. In 1 Corinthians chapter 9, the Apostle Paul describes how he engages both Jewish and Greek culture in order to share the gospel within each culture. Paul even uses culture to evangelize when he quotes a Greek poet during evangelism, as even some of your own poets have said, for we are indeed his offspring. Acts chapter 17, verse 28. If Christians were off culture, we are unable to share the gospel with people who are passionate about this aspect of culture. As discussed in today's video, there are definitely many legitimate concerns that we should have regarding the enjoyment of video games. I will try to address some of these concerns in future videos. However, even though these concerns do exist, I hope the reasons mentioned in the video, such as rest, physical mental training, spiritual edification, glorifying God, and cultural engagement for evangelism are good enough reasons for you to consider the benefits of video games. That's all I have for you in this video. Bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If this video blessed you in some way, please consider watching some of my other videos, subscribing, or sharing with me some of your thoughts in the comments below.